Hey everybody, hope you guys have been having a blessed day, and hopefully God has been providing you with the things that you need. I haven't done Proverbs, I want to say, since last month, and I said that I was going to try to get it done, but now I'm feeling like the Holy Spirit is pushing me to do this more, and I need to start doing this more for multiple reasons. Not just because of for me, but I'm doing it so people can hear from my opinion, and if they want to hear it from other people's opinions, they're more than welcome to talk to their preacher, their pastor, their teacher, or congregations of their church members. Also, we also can't learn from man because God is the one who has to teach us, and we're the ones who have to learn, and then while we're learning, we're giving out information to man, to the human race, what God has given us. God has given us purpose to be teachers, to be preachers, to be doctors, to be lawyers, to work in hospitality or customer service, to work with a lot of people, to work with possibly, just to be by yourself, to work by yourself. Now God is enabling us to go throughout the world, just like how it says in the book of Revelation, just how it says like in the book of Daniel, in the book of Daniel it says that the word is going to go to and fro everywhere. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was whenever Daniel was talking about, or whenever, is it Gabriel or Michael? One of the two angels came to him and was telling him about the future. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, this is talking about end times, Antichrist. Chapter 8, the Antichrist and end times. Right here. Gabriel's interpretation of the vision of the 70 weeks. Let's see. Looking. Let's just read from chapter 9, verse 20 all the way through 27. We'll find it. We will find it. And while I was speaking and praying and confessing my sin, the sin of my people, and the sin of my people Israel, and presenting my supplications before the Lord my God for the holy mountain of my God. Yes, while I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblation. He informed me and talked with me, and he said, "O Daniel, I am now come forth to give you skill and understanding. At the beginning of your supplication, the commandments came forth, and I am come to show you, for you are greatly beloved. Therefore understand the matter and consider the vision. 70 weeks are determined upon your people, upon your holy city, to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins, and to make a reconciliation of iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy and to anoint the holy, the most holy. Know therefore and understand that that from the going forth from the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem under the Messiah, the prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 days. So that's 72 days. That's 72 weeks. That's 7 weeks, 62 weeks. 7 weeks, 60. So no, that was wrong. That's 49 weeks, or 49 years. It says, and there will be 62 weeks. So the 7 weeks is 49 years. I have it written down in my Bible, and also I have an expository Bible too to help me understand this stuff. That's why I'm like, no, what I'm reading is I'm trying to figure it out, So it says, and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks, which is 49 years, and 62 weeks, which is 434 years, totaling 483 years. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublesome times. And after the 62 weeks, so that's 434 years. After the 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince who shall come destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood unto the end of the war. Desolations are determined. And he shall confirm the covenant. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, which is 7 years. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. For the overspreading of abomination he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation that determined shall be poured unto the desolate. So that wasn't one of them. That was talking about where people will go to and fro, and knowledge will go to and fro from the earth and be, multiplied or spread. Let me see if I can find it. Daniel. I don't want to look it up on my cell phone at all. I want to look it up in the Bible, because that's the best way for me to look at it, the best way for me to find out where it's at. I don't want to constantly go into my phone, hey, what's this? Hey, what's that? No. Yes, God gave us the tools, but this is the main tool that we need to literally look for things. Prince of Persia, kingdom withstood me. Now I came to make you understand what shall befall your people in the latter days, for yet the vision is for many days. And when he had spoken much words unto me, I set my face towards the ground, and I became numb. And behold, one like similitude of the Son of Man touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spoke and said unto him who stood before me, O my Lord, by the vision my sorrow are turned upon me. As I said, I'm trying to find where it says that. I know it's in Daniel. I know it's in Daniel. And I don't want to fight this to find it. I said I really don't want to look it up. Right here. It's in chapter 12. I found it. See, that's what happens whenever you have the patience to find this stuff. So it's in chapter 12. It's verse 4. Oh, excuse me. It says, but you, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood two, one on the other side of the bank of the river, and the other on the side of the bank of the river. So there was like a river. Got to think of it, picture it. There's a river. There's one man on this side, and then there's one man on that side, and one said to the man clothed in linen, who was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, who was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and lifted his left unto heaven, and swore by him who lives forever that it shall be for a times and half a time, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, of all these things shall be finished. And that's where they were talking, that's what he was talking about, like the Antichrist and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, I'm trying not to fall asleep over here. It's the spirit of laziness that's wanting me to not do this anymore. And I am pushing through this as much as I can. So, yeah. But yes, it was in Daniel 12, verse 4. Where knowledge will, so many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Right here it says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Refers to the tremendous increase in technology, which made it great to debut at the beginning of the 20th century. It also refers to the knowledge of the Word being greatly increased in these last days, especially knowledge concerning Bible prophecy. And that's what people are looking for. And even whenever Jesus was around, his disciples were like, Lord, when's the last days gonna happen? Can you tell us when the last days is gonna be? And like it says it in Matthew. Yes, my Bible looks like a beautiful rainbow. I think I just read this morning too. Literally, I think I just read this morning. But I know it's in Matthew, to where the prophets ask, where the prophets ask, I just know that it's in Matthew. I don't remember where it's in Matthew. I don't know if it's after whenever yeah, I don't know if it's after his parables or before his parables. But I know he tells his disciples that no one knows the time nor the angels, nor the Son. Only God knows when he's going to send his Son, you know. Only God knows when that's going to happen. But I think I left off in chapter... I know I read chapter 1. And I think I was reading chapter 1 all the way through 19. And then I stopped, I think. I think I stopped in Proverbs 1:19. But I've been, doing my own homework. And so we're going to go to Proverbs Chapter 1, verses 20 through 33. And so I wrote my own little summary, and we'll get to that at the end, of what I think this means. I've also asked God to help me to figure out what I need to understand out of this, and he's been giving me a lot of explanations. All right, we're going to go to Proverbs 1, verse 20. Wisdom cries without. She utters her voice into the streets. She cries in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she utters her words, saying, how long will you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you. I got something on my arm. I don't even know what that is. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But you have set a knot in all my counsels, and would none of my reproof. I also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. When your fear comes as desolation, and your destruction comes as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish comes upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hate knowledge, and did not choose to fear the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They would despair. They despair all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own ways, and be filled with their own devices. For turning away of the simple shall kill them, and the prosperity of the fool shall destroy them. But whoso hearkens unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Now, that was Proverbs 1, verse 20 through 33. Now, this is what I got out of it. I might get more out of it since I've read it multiple times now. But it says it's where wisdom is trying to speak to people. Wisdom is trying to reach out to people. This is how I see it. Wisdom speaks. People aren't wanting to listen to wisdom, even though she speaks. People of this world only care about themselves, and when trouble comes, their ways of wisdom will not be there. And the people will seek her. But if people or Christians who believe so it's like, but if the people who believe that are Christians or the ones who follow Christ, or they believe in the blood, they have the faith in the blood, that's whenever wisdom will protect. That's whenever God will protect them from the evil, from the fear of the evil around them. But if they don't seek it, they're not going to have the fear of God. They're not going to have the fear of the Lord. They're just going to live for the world. Literally live for the world. That's all they're going to do. And that's what a lot of people do nowadays, is that they live for the world. They want to live for themselves. They want to live for money. They want to live for sex. They want to live for well, lust is also part of the sexual stuff. They want to live for pride. They want to live for food. They want to live for all the sins, all the 7 deadly sins, including the other stuff that is out there, you know. They want to live for themselves and not for God. They want to live for this flesh that's, you know, that we live in. And it's kind of sad whenever you try to talk to your family and friends or coworkers or whoever that you bump into, and you talk to them about Jesus, and then like they lash out on you. There are a few people out there that want Jesus. They want God. They want the Holy Spirit in their lives, you know. And it is hard to find people like that. And even whenever they get the chance to have the Holy Spirit in their lives, they have the Holy Spirit in their lives for maybe like a season or whatever. And, you know, whenever trouble comes about, they just like, oh, I can't take it. I'm going to go back and live for the world. That's not what you're supposed to do. And even for the people who don't know who God is, or they say who they know who God is, but they don't fully believe in him. They don't fully believe in what Jesus did for them. Or you have people that say, yeah, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in the Holy Spirit. But then you go and talk to them, it's like, do you know what? Do you have the belief? Do you have the faith on what Jesus did for you on the cross? And they're like, well, I don't really know, because I believe that there's a God. That's great. Demons believe that, you know, demons believe. Everybody can believe that there's a God out there, or some type of thing out there that's, you know, doing things. You know what I mean? But if you don't have the faith in the blood, if you don't have the faith in what Jesus did on the cross, that he died and bled for you, then your believing, your faith is in jeopardy. You know, you have to have the wisdom of God to believe in what Jesus did for you. That's why Proverbs, me personally, I like Proverbs, because Proverbs there's so much wisdom in this book. If I can literally just have Proverbs separately, you know, just separate, I would literally just have that book for myself. You know, literally, I would just have that book for myself and just constantly have the wisdom, have the fear, have the knowledge of God right here. And that's what I fight every day, is I fight this. I fight my heart. I fight this flesh every day with all the lustful stuff that goes on, with all the worldly things that, you know, I am human. I am going to fight all of the stuff that's out there. I really am. I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it hard. And people are like, oh, well, you can still do it. Yeah, I can still do it. But am I going to step my foot into that little position? Am I going to move forward and do it? No. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'll be like, yeah, you can tell me that I can do it, but I'm not going to do it. And if you try to force me, then there will be consequences. You know, whether it's from God or from the authorities that, you know, we have to, you know, abide to by in this world. You know, but wisdom is crying out, literally crying out to people. She's literally crying out Look at what God is doing. Look at what Jesus did to you. Look at, or to the world. Look at what he did. Believe in what he did. And people are just going to be so, they're just going to do this. They're just going to close their ears. They're going to be like the monkeys that, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, They're going to be like those people. And there's a lot of people out there that don't want to speak. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to hear it or see it. That's why with the videos that you see online of the people who are worldly lashing out on preachers, the world's already banning speaking online, about this stuff. They don't want to hear it because Satan doesn't want to hear it. Satan hates listening to this. Did you know that Satan can literally enter a church, but he does not like listening to the blood preached? He doesn't like listening to people talk about what Jesus did. Satan and his dominions and his minions and the principalities and powers, they all can enter a church. They all can enter a church. But they cannot enter a church which is blood bought. And a physical church, like the building, it's just a building. We are the church. As a human being, we are the church of God. We are the church of Christ. There's a reason why Jesus said to Simon, whenever he changed his name to Peter, Peter, you are the rock that my church will be built on. And people don't get that. Peter establishes the church. Peter's thinking, I'm going to be the right-hand man because Jesus gave me... No, that doesn't work that way. James and... James and the other brother, I can't remember. God made they had their nicknames to be the Sons of Thunder, and then they come up to Jesus and ask, was like, well, who's going to be on your right and your left, or can we be on your right and your left? And Jesus lashes out on them and saying, well, are you willing to take the cup that I'm about to drink at this moment? And then he says, no, you won't be able to, but you will have your own cups that you have to go through. You will have to drink. Everybody has a trial. Everybody has a trial that they have to go through if they want to keep this faith and have God in their life. That they go through trials. I'm going through a trial at this moment. I'm literally fighting. I haven't had work in a week. Almost a week, because my job isn't giving me hours. And I'm still waiting on taxes so I can get my taxes. And I'm not asking for money, I don't really care for money. I just believe that my time here where I'm at, helping out my grandmother and my mom, is done, I believe that this time that I have here with my mom and my grandmother is done. As I said, I'm waiting so I can move out of the state that I'm in and go back to where I felt like I had Jesus, and also I'm waiting for winter to get over with as well. But I've been feeling the calling of like the stressfulness, and it's happened. It happened right after Thanksgiving. It happened right after Thanksgiving. And there's just been a lot of tension for like the last, I don't know, 3 months now, almost 3 months now. And I believe that I'm only supposed to be in a job for maybe 6 months to a year, to spread the hope and joy and talk about Jesus while I'm at that job. So, I believe that that's my calling. That's how I feel it. That's how I see it. And I hope all the stuff that I've been talking about gets to you guys. I hope you guys understand it. If you don't, leave a comment down below, and we can have a discussion. We can put stuff as polls, and we can get other people to help out each other to understand what we need to understand. I don't know everything, I'm still learning, I'm still a fresh Christian. I believed in God ever since I was like 11 years old. Okay? I believed in him, just like how everybody believed in him. As I said, the demons can believe. The demons do believe. But I wasn't fully with Jesus back then. And I literally became like the most worldly person out there. And I believe that with this new start that I've had for the last 6 months, 7 months almost, has been helping me. Now that I'm starting to come out of my shell and wanting to talk more, I believe that God is literally trying to push me through this. The Holy Spirit is pushing me through this stuff. And I really do hope that all of this stuff gets to some people. And as I said, if you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You got a comment, it doesn't matter if it's a heart or something, as long as there's a comment there, so the YouTube algorithm can push out more videos like this to everybody who needs it. I do make video game content, but those video game contents, I do throw a little bit of my life and Bible verses in there. So once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Don't forget to share this with your family and friends. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. See ya in the next video. Love you guys.